Hi everybody, I'm JT. Welcome to another video from me here at Campervan Journey, and you join us in the beautiful, sunny, hot surroundings of the Loire Valley. Except the Loire Valley didn't get the message about the hot, sunny surroundings, and instead we've got 18-19 degrees, rain and overcast. Seems that we've brought the English weather with us. Anyway, hopefully we can make the best of it. So stay tuned to find out a little bit more about what we get up to here on the next step of our trip to France. Now, despite the rain, there is blue sky up behind me. Hopefully you can see it, and the weather has been pretty good for most of the time that we've been here. So fingers crossed, the rest of our trip here will be very nice. We've got a few things planned for our time here in Surma. This is just a sort of 2 or 3 nights stopover whilst we make our way down, further down into France to the Dordogne region. We have stayed here before, and you might have seen a video from our visit last year. If you've checked up on the channel, I'll put a link up to it here. And but yeah, it's a really nice place to come and visit. Lots to see and do, and if you're into cycling, very friendly for cyclists of all abilities, because there's some long routes and also some very family friendly cycle routes as well alongside the river. But stick around to find out what we get up to. I hope you enjoyed the video, and it's always great to hear from you, so please drop us a comment below if you've got any questions about what we get up to. So, good morning to the Loire Valley. We had a really good first night in the tent, and this morning we're just going to go out and do some exploring on the bikes. Some really family friendly cycling around here. So let's go and see what we find. Am I being group leader? That means I've got to remember the way back. So whilst we're only probably 5 kilometres from the centre of Saumur itself, we are slap bang in the middle of rural France, and there's plenty of really quiet lanes and roads to explore by bike. Exploit our inner Tour de France. Beautiful sunflowers. I love being able to explore all these little rural tracks and lanes whilst we're away. This one's going to take us down to right down to the river. Quite steep, quite narrow. I did ask Claire if she was happy to cycle back up it. She might be changing her mind. Bonjour. So we've taken a cycle ride approximately 5 miles from the campsite, right along the banks of the River Loire, which is just over there. There's a really, it's a normal minor road, but there's a cycle lane running along it. The French are so geared up for cycling, just like campers and motorhomers. It's quite shameful really when you compare to what we've got over in the UK. But we've stopped here at this the Église Saint-Aubin to have a look at this beautiful little church, which in its grounds has got this wonderful tower. I'm not sure that the tower is part of the church or the church is part of the tower at some point, but it's obviously old, very old, and been renovated over time. But it's A lovely little perfect example of the sort of destinations and attractions you can enjoy whilst touring around in your camper van in this part of France. Inside is remarkable. It's really very plain. Not very much architectural extravagance at all, but it's got a beautiful characterful feel about it. If you enjoy this sort of thing, there are hundreds and hundreds of churches and chateaux and architectural curiosities you can explore in this part of France. What have we got, Harry?
We've got some fruits.
Fruits. At a roadside cabin. Perfect when you're travelling by on a bike. Stop off and enjoy. So after our stop for some fruits on the side of the road, we're back on our way, back alongside the river, back towards the campsite, which is another 10 kilometres or so. Enjoying this beautiful scenery. I did ask Claire before we came down this way, and this is not the steep way, if she wanted to do it. She said yes. We'll see if she rues her word. Is she pushing? She's got off and pushed. Which is not a surprise because it's quite steep, but this is not the steepest of the two options. Okay, keep going?
Yeah.
Or are we going to wait? And there we are, back at the campsite. Harry's just asked me if he's earned the King of the Mountains jersey, which I think he may well have done. Okay? You made it. Hey? Yeah, the bit downhill. So when the weather's not great in the Loire Valley, there's only one thing to do, and that's to take a visit to one of the many winemakers' caves, where you can have a look around, a tour of the caves, and if you're lucky, a taste of some of their produce as well. So last time we came, we visited Veuve Amiot, which is about a kilometre down the road towards Saumur. This time we're going to go and visit Ackerman and see what they have to offer. Now here is a great representation. You can see that the caves are dug into the rock. Above the rock, at the higher level, is the level where the vines grow in the fields. So it's a perfect positioning for growing the wine and then growing the vines and then storing the wine afterwards. Let's see what they've got to offer. So we're deep down in the cellars here at the Ackerman caves. and we found where they keep all of the very, very special wines. Behind me, in this little locked away vestibule, if that's the right word, you can see along the back wines from 1953, 1959, very, very special wines from the past. Got the expert testing the wine.
Oh, that's good.
You like that one?
You did the games with smell? We did. Yeah. It's a little bit difficult. And then the...
So after a tour around the caves, there's only one thing to do, and that's to have a little taste. So cheers. Harry's on the non-alcoholic one, just in case anybody queries. Very good. So this is one of the problems with when you come and look at a French cave, a winemaker's cave. They let you taste lots of these, and then you want to buy lots. And there's no doubt we're going to be buying some to take home with us, because it really is very, very nice. What do you reckon, Harry?
Yum.
Very nice. Great thing to do on a rainy day. So after a very nice day in Saumur today, especially with the wine tasting at Ackerman, we took a stroll afterwards to let the effects of lunchtime wine tasting wear off, and then popped back to the campsite later on this afternoon to enjoy, at last, some nice French weather. It's been a little bit disappointing, the weather, since we've arrived here. It's been quite overcast, not chilly, but quite showery on occasion, but fingers crossed, it looks like it's about to turn. So tonight is our last night here in Saumur, and then we're going to be packing up in the morning to head off for our next stop, which is down in the Dordogne. So before we move on from here, I'll do a little quick tour of the campsite, but I have done a more detailed video about this campsite that we're staying on here in Saumur previously. I'll pop a link in the description up here, so if you're interested you can watch it, but no surprises for guessing that it's another Utopia site that we know and love so well. One of the things that we're going to do this evening is take advantage of the loyalty scheme that Utopia offer, and for multiple stays you become part of a club where you get some discounts and offers, and one of those is that get a free pizza for one night on your stay when you're staying at one of the sites for I think it's 3 nights or more. So this video is not sponsored or endorsed or paid for by Utopia. We just really enjoy staying at their sites, and for good reason. They've served us really, really well over the last few years. But so pizza for tea, along with burgers, and no doubt a glass of more wine, and enjoy the French evening sunshine. A camping trip wouldn't be a camping trip without using our trusty Kodak Safari chef for making some burgers. So to accompany our pizza this evening, that's exactly what we've got. Because there's just the 3 of us on this trip, then this little stove is all we need, and we have our little camping gas stove as well. So we've got 2 burner rings, but it gives us all the cooking versatility we need with 2 rings, plenty of space, and this thing is so versatile and so practical. It's proved brilliant. One of the best camping purchases we've ever made.
Give it a shake.
It's not fizzing.
Oh. Whoa! That was exciting.
Is Mum going to slice that?
No, I'm going to slice it. actually, because I was put through all the anticipation. Yummy.
So for many of you who have been watching our videos for a while will know that we're big fans of Utopia campsites, and this one is no different. And this is Camping Utopia Saumur. Now today you see it in all its glory in the rainy weather that we've been having intermittently over the last few days. So contrary to popular opinion, the sun doesn't always shine in France. Just as a quick, very brief tour of the site, we've got the Utopia offices behind me here with a little shop selling your basic goods. It appears to be that the basic goods are wine and pasta. I did see if I could buy a bottle of milk in there yesterday and we weren't able to do that. There's a real mix of tourists here of English, French, Belgian and Dutch predominantly. Very good washing facilities. Hello. The swimming pool here is nice. You've got an outdoor pool with an indoor covered pool, always busy when the sun is shining. Tank courts. Shower and washing facilities are always looked after really well, clean and tidy. The Centre de Vie is where I suppose the hub of the site is. There's a little cafe in here, some games, books and things you can borrow, badminton kit, so all sorts of bits and pieces you can grab to use whilst you're here. And also, if the weather's not great, somewhere to get a bit of shelter away from your tent or your campervan, which is fancy spreading out a bit more. Most evenings there's some entertainment activity, and on the terrace somewhere to sit and enjoy the food and drink that you've bought. See, these sites are very family friendly, so there's always a good play area. The tent pitches are arranged in about 6 avenues like this, which is a really nice way of laying them out. So you've got the gravelled access drive and then pitches set off either side. There's different sizes of pitches. You've got the large ones, medium, small ones, some with picnic tables, some without. Pretty much all of them with electric, but they're all nicely divided. You've got some that have got hedged barriers, a mixture of tree cover, so most of them have got some good shade as well if the weather was hot and sunny. But this is the second time we've been. We've got a nice pitch, nice good sized pitch, average pitch with electric, again with mixed shade, and it's been a very pleasant few days that we've had here. But the pièce de résistance of this campsite is almost certainly what we've got here. For premium, you can pay to have a camping pitch behind me on the ridge, overlooking this wonderful view across the Loire Valley. Now, you can't see it today, but in the morning on a clear day the sun rises just over here and you get the fabulous sunrise views. There's also lots of California owners as well. So if you're a follower of Campervan Journey in your red California, Hope you've enjoyed your stay. There aren't as many on this site as there are some of the other Hootopia sites, but they've also got the Canadian style trapper tents, and there's some wooden lodges as well if you fancy something a little bit different. So there we go, a quick walk round of the campsite here in Saumur. There's about 180 pitches I think in total. It's cost us roughly about €50 a night to stay here, which is obviously not cheap, but given the facilities on offer, it's again, and the cleanliness provided, I think it's really good value, and we keep coming back for more. Anyway, it's time to pack up, get ourselves organised, and then move on to our next stop, which is down in the Dordogne Valley. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can be away in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, having had breakfast and got everything loaded up in the back of the van. Okay, so what's the time? 10 to 9. I think that's a record for being packed up and ready to move on. We're packing up the tent, so we've managed to do it super quick, which is great. That's the only mark that we've left from of where we've been, and everything's all loaded up in the back of the van. So we've got about a 5-hour drive down to Dordogne, driving down to sort of the central western edge of France. We'll probably stop a couple of times on the way just to break the journey up, and all being well we'll be there mid-afternoon, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the sun's going to be shining. So really hope you've enjoyed that video. If you did and took any benefit from it, please remember to give us the thumbs up and consider hitting the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. There's going to be more videos in this series about this year's trip to France, so if that's your thing, we look forward to seeing you on one of the next videos.